So the agenda tonight is then to talk about how do you account for time, or how do you allocate your time to build your gig business? In other words, like a self-accounting mechanism. Gavin will then do an introduction to LDC, one of the products in our New Life range. And Muzi is going to talk to us about the characteristics of a 3G founder parent. And then we'll just close with some forthcoming events. So just to remind you of what we discussed last week, and that is that everything we do is around the concept of a house. And with yourself being in the middle of the house being built on wisdom or philosophy, there's the pillars of wealth, or the principle of a thing, or the other pillar, wellness, or the practice of a thing, and worth or purpose. So in terms of the program for tonight, in terms of allocating your time, everything we now do is to have a seamless process of people coming in and becoming from a prospect to a free member, and all the journeys, free member to paid member to wealth coach, and so forth, so that in the end we have a seamless process of developing wealth coaches and organically grow the business. So just as a backup, and we might have discussed it in the past and we'll certainly revisit it in future, when we say the journey of a prospect to a free member, that's where each and every one of you must say, if I am not a wealth coach yet, it's because I don't have my 10 members. Where will I find my 10 members? And to do that, you have to start with a name list. What is your sphere of influence? And the obvious place to start is family, friends, but specifically think of influencers. And influencers would then be a guy who's maybe a teacher, a pastor, a community worker, all refer back to what you have in common, your mutual interests, and anything else. But then you have to put the name list through a process to create awareness. And what we refer as create awareness is to invite people to the Gig Institute website, your own or other people's testimonies, or if you have the legacy book, hand it out, let people read it, get it back, and later on let them invest in it. And this journey starts when they sign up as a free member, they notify the referrer, and they notify the wealth coach. Then our second journey is free member to paid member. Now, tonight, all of you are hopefully past the paid member stage. We'll get to it just now. But then once a person is a free member, our whole website and the support around it is designed to go online to the online training and specifically do the first one, struggle to significance. And then afterwards, phone the wealth coach, and he will then discuss with you the CFI products, explain to you the benefits of the online shop, explain membership options, and then you have a choice to sign up online as a paid member. And then that takes us to where most of you are right now, the paid member to wealth coach journey. Now, the paid member to wealth coach journey is go back, if you haven't yet done it, complete trainings 2 and 3. And what we mean by 2 and 3 is then the goal setting, the generational budgeting. Make sure you have a wealth coach interview, but before you do it, go onto the site, do the preparation, and most importantly, get yourself set up for Google Keep. Then do the actual interview and share your 12-month action plan with your wealth coach. And then from here on further, what we are doing in the club and ongoing individual meetings is to first of all help you to convert your expenses to wealth seeds, where the first obvious thing is household consumables. And that's where we train people to say, without touching new money, just look at how you spend current money and turn it into a way that can generate income for yourself. And later on, we'll introduce you to health and skincare products as well, and a whole lot of financial products. And there's also debt counseling. Then during the Gig Club training, of which we're now busy, every time there will be new input, and it will be recorded. But especially our once a month meetings are then designed to give you a fantastic opportunity for networking. And then at that event, or even during the month individually, certain people will then be followed up in terms of their 12-month action plan. And when I say certain people, it will be those who share their 12-month action plan with the wealth coach. And then ultimately you become a wealth coach. How do you become a wealth coach? You recruit 3 people personally. And when you do that, we will set you up as a HubSpot user. We give you one-on-one training on how to use it so that you can then monitor your own team until you have developed 10 members, and then finally register as a wealth coach. And then you're almost there. Next step is wealth coach to mentor. And that's where you will have a monthly meeting with your wealth coach while you are then assisted with developing your own new wealth coach downline. And once that person is registered, that then makes you a wealth coach. So having said all that, and you won't be able to remember all of this, but refer back to this training session. What I used many years ago when I was still full-time employed, and I actually justified why I could not build my networking business, whereas other people just took off like a rocket. I said, but I'm too busy. I'm working full-time. I have a managerial position. Where will I find the time? Very difficult. Occasionally I can attend the training. And then the thing that helped me break free of that excuse habit and become accountable is I took a typical month, and in this case, let's just look at July, and I would then, on an Excel spreadsheet, take it from 1 to 30 or 31 if the month is 31. Then I would start whatever is the first day. In this example, I'll just say it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and repeat again. In that section in the middle is just because I don't have space for the whole month, at a glance. So just assume now you see the whole month at a glance. And then I would sit down with my leaders and I would say, I fully understand you're a very busy person, but let's just see how you are allocating your time. And then I would take them through time priorities, and I say, the first thing you need to look at is what puts money on the, pay for the all your expenses, put money on the table. So it's normally a job or a business. But then don't neglect your family, and go and put in all the events. Could be school events for a prize giving, or a date with your spouse, or some time with your kids watching a sport event. And then by all means, have me time. Go to a gym, watch TV, whatever is your hobby, so that you don't burn out during this process. And then many of you might have social responsibilities where you serve on a church or a church board or have other activities. But then by going through this process, you'll see what is available for generational wealth actions. So for the sake of this exercise, let us just quickly go through it and see how it would be completed for a typical person who has a job. So going back to my allocation of 20 hours, and I divide the day from 8 in the morning till 10 at night. And by the way, don't think like an employee who think my days stop at 5. If you look at what's happening behind the scenes with the leadership of Gig and Gavin and Jason and Muzi, we just work around the clock. But let's just say we all work around these times. For a typical employee, he would be in a job, and I know you don't have lunch for 2 hours, but let's just assume there's a break for lunch. And then most people are then finished by 5, but with traffic and all of that, I say you finished by 6. So a typical employee's life would be from Monday to Friday. That's already spoken for. Then Saturdays and Sundays, that's up to me. Then Monday to Friday again. That's what it's in there. Now, if you apply the rules that I've just said in the previous slide, let's now add, let's say on Friday, there's a school activity, and that'll start anytime after 6, and we don't know how long that will be. And then this first week of the month, I plan to play golf, and you put in the time for golf, but not the whole day, just the time that you spend for golf. Then that night, I want to take my wife to dinner. Then that Tuesday, there will be a church board meeting. And on Sunday, I'm planning to just relax, go to church in the morning, then watch TV and have lunch. So this is, and then the other Saturday, there's another Saturday a month that I will have a date with my wife. So let's just assume this is now what we're going to do. Once you've now completed it, you can now see that you've paid attention to what you have to do to put bread on the table. You've taken care of all the social and family events like the school and the wife and the social responsibility with the church board and even me time with golf and watching TV and stuff like that. What I'm more interested in is what then remains as unallocated time. And I want to encourage you then to go and use a highlighter, because the point of highlighting this unallocated time is that you're responsible for your life. And we're not expecting you to neglect any of these other activities, but what are you doing with these unallocated time? And you'll find that if you don't personally plan productive activities for this unallocated time, you will soon find that time just slipped through your fingers. So in terms of now planning for these activities, this is where you refer back to right at the beginning, the session I've done. In terms of your team, this is where we want to go. The key to a big business in gig is to become a wealth coach yourself. Right now, many of you are one of those members of a current wealth coach, but aspire to become a wealth coach yourself. Find your 10 people and take them from prospect to free member to paid member to wealth coach to mentor. And in the process, you'll then soon have your 10, one of which will become the next wealth coach, help him to become a wealth coach. And that's how you now go back to the previous slide. And if you currently don't have your 10 people, build your nameless and say which night I'm going to build my nameless. Then start creating an awareness campaign, send emails, get people to watch the video, follow up, have them register as a free member, and so forth. And then every month you repeat this exercise. You make sure that you add all your activities pertaining to your specific group of 10 people and the wealth coaches below you. And if you've done that, the good news out of this, a mentor once told me, he said, Jasper, relax. You cannot control results and you cannot control people. But what you can control are your actions and you can control your attitude. And I have found by doing this little simple exercise, I would now feel good at the end of the month that I've done what I could. I leave the rest up for God to just bring the growth. And I know I've attended to everything that was important to me, and I have a balance in my life. So that is then the session I wanted to do tonight in terms of time allocation. And I'm going to now stop my screen and hand over to Gavin, who will take us further and share with us some more information on LDC.